Hello everybody and welcome back to Third Chair. Today we have a lot of Pokemon Showdown battles, and I will be debuting a new team on this episode like I said I would, but not right away. First we're doing a couple random battles, and this is just because I do have fun with random battles. They're not as stressful sometimes. I have a Weavile and he has a Regigigas, which two Pokemon, Weavile's an OU now, but it wasn't always considered to be super good. But Regigigas, on the other hand, it has slow start, and that really cripples what could have been a very strong legendary. Luckily, I do knock off this Regigigas' leftovers after he T-Waves, Confuse Ray sub. He's trying to get to stall out his slow start, but it's not going to work against my Dugtrio, which has Substitute, which is why I threw it in there in the first place. All he knows, I think, is Return. Which if I had a Ghost type, I would put up against his Regigigas right away. But I'm faster, even with his speed boost, so I'm going to go for the Earthquake. And he's trapped because Dugtrio uses Arena Trap as its ability, at least this one has. But he'll go into his Poliwrath and force him to switch out, so... I have an Aromatisse, which is an interesting fairy type if you guys ever tried to use one. Don't really know what its strengths are. Maybe it gets Cotton Guard, or... it's a good screen user, I guess, if you're a dual screener. But I put up the light screen and try and fight the Poliwrath, and then he goes into his Gothitella, and I'm not sure if I'm trapped, actually. I think it said I might have been, but I mean, usually when Gothitella switch in, they're trapped. For the Suspect test that was happening, it wasn't allowed. No one used it. It could have been used without its ability, but its real benefit is having Shadow Tag. Luckily, my Moonblast lowered its special attack with the light screen, and even though it did get the special defense drop on me, it's not doing that much. It actually got 2 drops, which is pretty crazy. But I'm able to outstall it, kind of. And I got a drop on... We're all just getting these drops that it doesn't really matter in the end, but he's got to leave before, something bad happens. So I'll go for another Moonblast, take a Rotom down pretty well, actually. And I'm going to take a guess here. And, so this Rotom's kind of going to use... Yeah, I was going to expect the Pain Split. I didn't expect it to get so much health out of it. But I bring in my Lickilicky, not because I wanted to get the Will-O-Wisp, but I have Heal Bell, which would have helped. So, everything would have helped everything. My Weavile is no longer paralyzed, which means it can easily take out this Rotom. And I go to my Aromatisse again, which was able to 2-hit KO earlier, at least very close to 2-hit KO. But he Volt switches out, which is fine. Because nothing on his team is going to appreciate a Moonblast at this range. And against his Bayonet, which I believe is a Mega Bayonet, it still gets 2-hit KO. Look at that thing. It's so spooky. And it doesn't kill with the Shadow Claw. Amazingly enough, I can kill it, and then I'll die to the burn. But that was crazy. I for sure thought I would have died to that. So taking that Mega Bayonet out was pretty cool. I like Meloetta. I've always wanted to use one. The ability to switch between its Psychic and Fighting types. Well, normal as well. But, it's pretty strong on its own. I went for a Psyshock expecting anything to come in to die to it, even the Gothitella, but it actually has a pretty good bulk, so I just go for the Shadow Ball because I'm quicker, and he reveals his last Pokemon is a Druddigon, Dragon type, what you need to know. Has rough skin, it's pretty physically defensive, but so is my Lickilicky, and it turns out he's Life Orb, which is even better for me, because Lickilicky can use Body Slam and will take... Apparently, actually, he's not rough skin, amazingly enough. But we'll have a little fight with that. And he's going to go on his Rotom, so actually I think I predicted that. No, I didn't predict that. I just still go for Body Slam. His Rotom might actually wall out this Lickilicky. I'm trying to remember what I had on this guy. But, yeah, I just went for another Body Slam. That might have been a misclick. But either way, I might just also be sacking my Lickilicky at this point. Nope, I go for the Heal Bell. That's fine. I didn't want anything else to get burned, really. Now I finally take the Lickilicky back, and I bring out my Dugtrio. I think I still trap him. If he goes for the Volt Switch, that's great, but he did go for Will-O-Wisp, so I was kind of sad there. However, he does have Levitate, so... Oh, and so it does get... Okay, so he can leave the Arena Trap. Man, I'm forgetting my Pokefacts today, but I get Stealth Rock up, so that's nice. Because I know you can do anything to me anyways. After the burn. I take my Dugtrio out, Poliwrath immediately threatens him. I go to my Lickilicky, I believe I'm just trying to... sack him? There you go, yeah. I think I wanted to set in my Weavile, but now obviously I'm not going to send in my Weavile versus the Poliwrath. So in comes Meloetta to hit anything with a Side Shock. He leaves his Poliwrath in and misses the Circle Throw, which I believe switches the Pokemon out. So that crucial miss allows me to 2-hit KO him. And my Meloetta is back at full health and is easily able to take on this Druddigon because it's not super defensive. And it really can't do much back. So 49% Dragon Claw dies to the Life Orb and the Side Shock. So it's a Rotom versus many Pokemon. More specifically, it's a Rotom versus Weavile eventually at one point, and he will lose to that. So he forfeits. And that's the first battle. So it was a nice, easy battle. And just to get into the second one now, because these are just random battles. I started off on this one. This one's great. I have a Kingler, and I love Kingler's animation. He's like chopping everywhere. And immediately you have to face off against a Mega Gardevoir. I use a Crab Hammer, and I think I'm sashed, or yeah, I believe I was Focus Sash. But take a big chunk out of it, which is fine, because now I can go to my Leopard, and it's a Prankster Leopard first of all, so it takes it can do anything at once really on the first turn it comes in. Got a Life Orb. I knock off the Florges' leftovers, which is fine. I go for the U-turn. Does 15%, which is pretty nice, seeing it's as it's resisted. And then I go into my Azelf, expecting maybe a Psychic type move. Not a Psychic type move, sorry, Fairy type move. Whoops. But then I get the Nasty Plot off, which is pretty cool. They gave me a Nasty Plot Azelf instead of like a Stealth Rocking set with Explosion or whatever. Used to run in the past. Side Shock does not kill, but it does bring it down 2%, so he's going to sack his Florges. He had a pretty strong team so far, much stronger looking than mine. So having that out of the way is important. But then in comes a Genesect with Download, and that thing is speedy, including having Extreme Speed. So there's a reason that thing's in Ubers. I sent out my Leopard to deal with it. Amazingly enough, I get the Thunder Wave off. And instead of just going for like a U-turn or something, he goes for Shift Gear. So, that's risky because he's going to set up again and again. And he has... Okay, so let's just like first talk about this. If he just killed my Leopard, he could have swept my whole team, barring Parahacks or whatever that was left. But because he went for 2 Shift Gears, I predicted his next move would be attack, went for the Sucker Punch, which crit. I'm not sure it mattered, honestly, seeing how much knockoff did. And left him with, but there it was, and now his Genesect is dead, and my Leopard is at 63%, and I can still paralyze anything that thing. He says crit mattered. I don't know. I wouldn't say so. And then he gets a crit back, return crit. But I said maybe it did, like, be nice. I'm not really sure. But he goes for knockoff, which is great, because this is my Mega. You can't knock off the Mega's item. And I immediately transform into my Mega Gyarados, which now has Mold Breaker, and I go in a sub. And this Whiscash is just looking at me like, what? But it's bulky. So, and apparently it knows Dragon Dance. So now I'm in a pickle. Because then he forgets that Gyarados is a Water Dark. And that he's going to pay for. Because should have gone for the Earthquake. But he's Life Orb. He's going to die now because of that. A big mistake on his part. But Mega Gyarados is very healthy. And he sends back in his Lickilicky. Because he probably knows Heal Bell, as mine did earlier. So I'll just set up another sub. If he goes for luckily he get paralyzed. Probably might go for a Body Slam too. But Crunch is gonna take 30%, so he's pretty bulky still. And I can live 2 Earthquakes on this guy, so that's big. So Waterfall, Earthquake, Crunch, sub. So I'm gonna sub into attack set. And then I get the defense drop, which is nice. I'm gonna set up a second substitute here. I'm trying to stay as healthy. Oh, and he went for Protect. Oh man. I actually went for Waterfall. Must have been trying to hit him with that flinch chance here. But then he turns out to have Explosion. So that's completely fine, I guess. Very unexpected. But my Leopard's still at 5%, and whoever he sends out, and it's a Malamar, interestingly enough. 92% on the U-turn, and I die, sadly. But it was pretty surprising that he lived that, saying it was 4 times effective. But he didn't have enough HP to make a substitute, so I come in with a Ninjask, who's now very, very quick. Hit him with the X-Scissor. Not even a Mega. Oh, wait, no, Ninjask is a good Mega, but not even like a Baton Pass set, I think. Might have been, I don't remember. And then his Gardevoir will actually die to an X-Scissor because it's neutral. And it's like Burial dealing neutral damage, and that's the battle. And I still had 1 Pokemon left. I don't really remember who he was. So, on to the third random battle. I start this battle off with a Minun, and he comes out with a Mamoswine. So I'm immediately in very big trouble. I'm hoping that he overpredicts and goes for rocks, which is great, because I'm behind a substitute and I'm quicker. So I'm going to Encore him here. Minun always runs substitute Encore. It's the only thing it can do, really. It's just too weak otherwise. So now I'm behind a sub. He has to go for Stealth Rock for a bunch of turns, and he has to withdraw his Mamoswine otherwise. And I'm actually going to Baton Pass. Oh no, I go for Thunderbolt, which is pretty good. He sends in his Sawsbuck to take it. I thought I went for Baton Pass here. But I did predict the switch with that Thunderbolt. I just didn't really know he'd switch into it. Now I go for the Baton Pass, like I said. And in I subbed in a Dialga. So I'm pretty lucky that I had him to begin with. But he also then goes for the substitute, knowing that I really can't do much to him. So, we have a little sub war. And he goes for Jump Kick. It's super effective. It's pretty good. Had this exact battle, but reversed. A different battle. Later on. Like between those two. He roars. No, I roar, and out comes his Gramble, which is a fairy type, which I luckily remembered and went for Flash Cannon, and almost killed it, but not quite. It then hit me with a Play Rough, which is only neutral, because Dialga is steel. I was hoping to kill him here, but sadly, I get paralyzed, and I have to take 2 hits, I think, before I can hit him. So Dialga takes a lot of damage. I wish he didn't. Oh, that's right, I got 2 paralyzed. So Gramble is starting to really start getting a little scary, but it's not a 3-hit KO, luckily. And I'm paralyzed again. No! So, unfortunately, I take out my Dialga. I have to send something else in. And I send in my Miltank to take 1 hit. It can take a couple hits usually. It's pretty bulky. I go for Body Slam, and I don't get it, but I do paralyze it in return, so I guess that's a little bit of return fairness here. I may go for the Heal Bell. I can't remember my next move, honestly. Nope, I just go to take him out. I don't want the Scramble messing with me anymore. But now I'm in a little bit of a pickle because anything can come in and kind of eventually. But I get Rocks up, actually. Why did I do that? But then he misses his Jump Kick. The very, very important Jump Kick. 95% chance to hit, and he misses. And I'm like, oh, that's just, it's a shame. Like, this whole battle has just been very hacks. But I'm quicker somehow. Miltank's just fast, and I get the Body Slam off. And he goes into his Mamoswine. And I go to hit a Body Slam on it again. I'm really just trying to take a bunch of things down with this Miltank. Finding out his Mamoswine had Life Orb helped, and he went for Ice Shard, didn't hit it. Didn't kill. So, his Mamoswine is easily revenge killed now, and in 1 hit will die anyways, so. I send my Dialga out, probably just to kill us both. But if he wants to sub out, that's fine. I mean, there's rocks on his field, there's nothing he can do. I'll gladly take the trade here, because now my Minun can come in and mess around a bit more. Say, let's see, he has a Stall type or something. But nope, he reveals he has a Scizor, and I reveal I have a Clawitzer. And Clawitzer pretty good, but it's nothing compared to Mega Scizor, so he Swords Dances. And I'm like, oh boy, better hit him with an Aura Sphere, that's all I got. I thought maybe my strongest move then. Superpower does not kill me though, and because of that, I went for a Water Pulse. I don't have anything else to take out the Scizor, so I send in my Minun, and this is funny because his Bullet Punch won't kill my Minun at all. It's not even a 2-hit KO at 1.5 times attack. I think I got pretty lucky then with the Superpower of using the attack. Could have been a 2-hit KO, but it wasn't. Anyways, so Minun ends up doing a lot of work. He hits this Dugong, and then Dugong goes for Perish Song, oddly enough. But if he wants to do that, that's fine. I'll just take her out with my Thunderbolt. I could have just gone for Encore even to mess with him more, but I wasn't going to play good games. Just going to, apparently sweep a team with Minun, because now he sends out a Azumarill. And Azumarill is going to Belly Drum, I believe. Or no, he doesn't. He goes for a knockoff. I don't know why. Could have Aqua Jetted me probably in 1. Maybe he thinks I have a Grass type. But I have Durant in here, who, even though I had Hustle, took one out the next Scissor, luckily. I don't know if the crit mattered. Probably didn't, because Durant's pretty strong, and that's another win. So, we were doing pretty well in the random battles today. But here's what I really wanted to get into. The 2 OU battles I have with my old team, and the few I have with my new team. So, that is not my team. This is my team. So, before we start off, I want to point out that Ragwa is the guy I was playing here. He had an Azumarill, an Excelgor, Victini, Garchomp, Leopard, and Blissey. And my god, this team was hilarious, and I can't wait to show you guys this battle. At first I'm thinking, what could he possibly send out? His Leopard maybe? His Excelgor to set up like spikes? He sends out his Victini, so I'm like, well, my Ferrothorn clearly won't last here. I send out my Heatran to counter. It's a pretty normal counter. He has Final Gambit on his Victini, and we both die. Wow. Okay. Very unexpected, but hey, you know, my Ferrothorn's gonna have a much easier time now. He sends out his Blissey, then withdraws his Blissey and goes into Garchomp. A good move. It's a rough skin Rocky Helmet, as they always are, but I will take the damage and get the free, you know, switch out in the Metagross. So I'm okay with this, and I evolve. I'm gonna go for the Ice Punch, but he's quicker and has Earthquake. That's okay, because Ice Punch right now is gonna kill him, but then his rough skin Rocky Helmet, we're both gonna get KO'd. And that's gonna prove pretty crucial later on, even though Garchomp is quicker. He sends out his Excelgor, and I send out my Ferrothorn. And it turns out, he also has Final Gambit, and that's probably the fastest Final Gambit user you will find. And I'm actually surprised he had more HP than me. So then it's Starmie versus Blissey, and I don't want my Starmie to take anything. I need him later. So, and then look at this move right here. Blissey does not get Final Gambit, but because I switched out, it used Copycat on the original Final Gambit that was used from Excelgor, and dealt 714 or whatever damage to my Clefable, which clearly will take both of them out. And now it's a 2v2, and I'm scared. I'm like, this guy's clearly gimmicky. And I'm like, well, at least now I need to take out this Leopard with Brave Bird, and I don't take out the Leopard with Brave Bird. And he uses Copycat, and Brave Bird's me in return, and we both die. And now it's Starmie versus Azumarill. Last battle. This is 6 turns in, and we're already in our last Pokemon. And I'm thinking, well, at least I have a chance at Thunderbolt, and it's not even a 3-hit KO. Because he knows knockoff, and I'm like, well, that's a shame. This is a very, very good gimmick team. Oh my gosh. I loved it. I just loved his team. I can't believe it worked. I don't know how effective it is. Loved it. You guys should give it a try. Deals 791 damage. No kill like overkill, he says. Ragwa, amazing team. You guys take a look at that. That was quite the battle. I'm sure there's something out there that counters like these kind of teams, but hey, you know, they're fun to use, I'm sure. So it's a good match. We're gonna move on. You know, just sometimes you gotta have those gimmicks. They're always fun. Let's just reset real quick. Starmie, and then, okay, let's just make sure the music's working here. Okay. Music's not working, so I'm just gonna refresh it real quick. And play it again. There we go. Okay. So, let's talk a little bit about this battle here. Heat's team, Charizard, Alakazam, Blastoise, Gengar, Talonflame, Cloyster. So, a lot of strong Pokemon, but no dedicated walls, as far as I can tell. He doesn't have a dedicated coring team. So, my best bet would be to keep my Clefable alive. And if I can take out his Talonflame and Charizard, my Ferrothorn will be able to take everything else. His Cloyster is a bit of a worry because it can Shell Smash, but I wasn't really thinking about it too much at the time. And I don't really need to worry too much about his Blastoise. I believe his Mega turns out to be this Charizard here on the first turn. I think I just saw that anyways. Yep, and he turns out to go to Mega X, and my Starmie's fine with that, but I thought Skull would do a little more. I sent Starmie out because I figured his team would not like do anything. I did get disconnected. I came back into the battle, luckily. Usually they always seem to go for Dragon Claw because it's safe, but because of Clefable, it's not safe at the same time. So even though he's at a Dragon Dance, I had the hand here, and, well, if he wants to go for Fleblets, that's his choice. I didn't think it would actually do so much. But that gives me free reign into my Talonflame, which then I'll take the Brave Bird out on him. He should have probably switched out, but maybe he was a little worried. Then he goes into his Cloyster. I U-turn out because I know he's going to Shell Smash, and I can't take him out from this range. I go into my Metagross. I'm expecting I can take anything he does. Look at this, Rock Blast. It's going to do absolutely nothing. He even gets a crit on the second hit, and he links 5 together and does 18%. So that's not going to do anything. So Metagross is the best switching I had. I'm going to Mega Evolve, so I'm even stronger on defense, and I'll go for a Meteor Mash and take out his Alakazam on the switch-in. Don't know what he was expecting, honestly. Maybe I was going to set up, but then his Gengar turns out to be faster. Shadow Ball kills me. The Steel type being nerfed does hurt in that regard. But hey, you know, then he sacks his Gengar for some reason as well. Brave Bird, Talonflame showing what it's got. But now we have a Talonflame Ditto, and I managed to actually hit very hard Brave Bird first. I think it might have been a speed tie or something, but hey, we're going to trade hits there. And I'm more than okay with taking out his Talonflame, because now he has 2 water types And then I do have a Heat Train that won't be able to do much, but I also have a Ferrothorn that can do a lot. So, I missed the Leech Seed, because that's good. His Blastoise is just a Blastoise, so I'm not too worried. But then he reveals he has Aura Sphere. Maybe he was predicting me to switch into my Starmie. I miss another Leech Seed. This is becoming very bad, very quickly. And at this point, I go for Protect, because he's going to keep Aura Sphereing me, and if I can't get extra recovery off Leech Seed, I'm in big danger from dying to any one of his Pokemon. So at this point, he withdraws, and he knows he can set up with Cloyster. But once again, my only defense to his Cloyster is having my Starmie in there to begin with. So unfortunately, I can't send my Starmie in right now. So I go for a Gyro Ball here, I believe, and I do 38%. And that's pretty nice, because now with Leech Seed damage coming in, he's at 24, and if I Protect on this turn, he can only take one of my Pokemon out. So I will gladly take this trade. I'm at 100%, and he's at 11, so Leech Seed's going to take something. And it won't kill at ×2, unless he gets like 4 crits in a row. So my Ferrothorn sets up rocks, just because I'm like, you know what, I don't need to kill him, but Blastoise, you take a little bit more damage coming in, and now it's looking a lot better for my Ferrothorn. I can just get a Leech Seed off. However, let's see. I do hit the Leech Seed this time. Very critical moment. I'm still a little worried. My Heat Train cannot take anything from this Blastoise. But in combination with Leftovers and Protect, I can outstall this Blastoise. Thankfully, unless he gets a crit. He does end up getting a crit, because I just said he would. And it's a little bit scary, but because he does know Dark Pulse, but because of the super effective Thunderbolt, I should be okay. I am faster. He's not super strong. He's just a normal Blastoise, no Mega. And at this point, it's pretty much good game, so it was a nicely fought battle. But that was just 2 overused suspect test battles that I was having. And it was a good game, Heats. I liked your team. Alright. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to my new team. This was my second team. I entered this team in a new tournament at the time, my 4th tournament. You're about to see some crazy stuff happen here. And this team is a little bit different. I noticed that I didn't like... I had a little trouble dealing with some certain Pokemon, and I also really wanted to have an Azumarill team. So I used Raikou, Azumarill, Heatran, still on a balloon, Slowbro, that's my Mega Slowbro, Shaymin, and Scarier. And I figured this is a very well-balanced team, and I still like this team a lot. Raikou and Shaymin can take anything Azumarill doesn't want to take. And Heatran, Mega Slowbro, and Shaymin combination is a very, very good team without being too weak to like fighting. Skarmory is great at phasing. I didn't have a phaser in my last team, so whenever someone set up too much, I'd be in a lot of trouble. So I went into this battle thinking, okay, I'm not sure how my team will do, but we will see. So he starts off with his Manectric, which is a Mega, and I start off with my Heatran. I know he's tough, and Luxray Strike's just like, he was watching my last 2 battles. I'm like, he even invited me to one of the rooms. He's a good guy. But he gets to watch me in this battle here against this team. But anyways, he Volt Switches, and I go for a Stealth Rock off the bat because he has Talent Flame. However, I do lose my balloon, so I can't stay in against this Landorus sadly. So I do switch in my Shaymin, and I go behind the sub. But he U-turns out, crits, faded, all that stuff, and now my Shaymin's not looking too healthy. So he goes back into his Mega Manectric. And this Pokemon's so good against most of my teams, I feel like. Turns out he reveals Hidden Power Ice. Not bad. I'll go for a H Seed here. But he's just going to probably Volt Switch out next turn. But I'm going to switch right into my Raikou, which doesn't know Volt Absorb, it doesn't. But then he reveals Flamethrower and burns me, and oh no, this burn's just not going to help. Because this is my only Pokemon take on Mega Manectric. So I'm in big trouble now. Raikou is not equipped to handle burns on this team. I think I predict the switch in and go for Hidden Power Ice, and that was amazing, but he didn't die. He's just a very strong Landorus. So, unfortunately, but he does withdraw luckily. I don't remember who was quicker in that battle. I go for another one. I wanted to finish that Landorus off so my Heatran could have a little more free reign. But due to the burn, I am now very low. I don't know what he's yelling at me anymore. But I'm predicting a Sucker Punch, so I go into my Skarmory and roll him out on the Sword Dance. Good prediction there. But then he goes for the Defog and I lose my rocks. So I go for Brave Bird. I knew it would be like a hard hit. I didn't think it would be a 2-hit KO though, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, and he's like, who is using it? He is using it. People are watching this battle action. It's pretty neat. And then he goes into his Mega Man trick, and that's bad. Something's got to die on my team. And he's right, it's a free Volt Switch. This Whiskash guy, the guy I was playing earlier, Sash. But no, I don't think I played him. Never mind, he just came in. But my Heatran comes in, he goes into his Zoom Whirl. It's very dangerous, but my Slowbro can take this thing on any day of the week. So he goes for a Belly Drum. I do like Belly Drum and Zoom Whirl. It's very, very good switch to make. Even with a player up, I take only 88%. But all I had to really hit him back with was a Thunder Wave. And sadly, I'm not going to get too much Para Hacks here, so my Mega already goes down, which is pretty bad. But I switch to my Shaymin, and I go for C-Flare, and he doesn't die, which is crazy. Just a testament to how strong Zoom is. But then he goes for Aqua Jet, because he has to, otherwise he'd be killed, and doesn't kill me. So think about that. Belly Drum, Zoom, and this is a specially defensive Shaymin, only does 44% at max damage, so... but then it's very easy to come in KO with his Braver, but he turns out to be a bulk-up Talonflame, and I'm not worried about that at all, or so I thought, until my Lava Plume did only 32%. So his Braver comes in and he kills me, and I have to... He's also Life Orb, so he's really easy to go down unless he has Roost, which he does. Turns out his Brave... I forgot Brave Bird would beat Aqua Jet and Azumarill, so unfortunately I lose my Azumarill, which is big in this battle. Probably could have used it to take out Manectric. But I don't have anything to take out Manectric anymore. So he has free reign to run that guy around because of my burned Raikou. Unfortunately, now I just sack everything and he's going to take me out in a couple turns. So I watch as Mega Manectric just absolutely destroys my team in the first tournament I ever went in with this game. So that was game, I think. I think I get like, what, like 10% here? No, 32%. It's still pretty good. But yeah, Mega Manectric, very strong Pokemon. I was always considering carrying him, but I wanted Mega Slowbro instead. So there you get to see my first battle against Reaper O Souls. He had a great team, great battle. He made it pretty far in that tournament, I think. I didn't get to watch too much of it. But because I didn't get very far, I decided to have a couple more battles. Switch sides. And I took that same team up, and I went into the just the match finder, and Corazon 364529 decided to face me today. Thundurus, Metagross, which I believe is his Mega. Otherwise, there's no reason to really run regular Metagross. Clefable, very, very good and overused. I would recommend it on almost every team. Tentacruel, which is interesting. Maybe the poison type does help a little more this generation. Landorus, which is a good core Pokemon with Clefable. And then the Wallbreaker, Kyurem Black. So, nothing on this team can really handle my Raikou, even though last time we saw Landorus did take a Hidden Power Ice. That might have been especially defensive one, or a bulkier one. So I sent in my Raikou, since I was Thundurus, he can't hit me with a Thunder Wave to start the battle, so I'm immediately going to go to a substitute. I don't fear anything on his team yet. And because of this, I'm Calm Minding as my Raikou. And his Moonblast won't even break my sub. So he forfeits. And that was the first ever non-tournament overused battle with this team. But I don't leave you guys hanging on that. So I did get a second battle versus ABC Death, or ABCDEFF. And I like this guy's team. You can tell his Mega's immediately going to be Pinsir. But a Gliscor and Blissey combination used to be very popular in team building because one's very physically defensive and one's very specially defensive. But with Knockoff hurting both of them very badly, it's generally not a core you see anymore. Espeon's around a bit more just because of its magic bounce ability. It's a good screen user. It does help a lot. And then for Alligator, a good Dragon Dance Pokemon, I guess you want to set up. And Starmie, we all know, is the Rapid Spinner on his team for Mega Pinsir. So I'm looking at this team and I'm thinking, I want to hit anything immediately hard off the bat with my Azumarill. It could be his Gliscor, it could be his Blissey. If it's his Starmie, I'm going to switch out to my Mega Slowbro and deal with it that way. So I figured I'm going to take my Azumarill and see what he does. But turns out he has Reflect, and I went for a Waterfall. Still did 59%, so he wants to save his Espeon. Whoa, it slows down a little bit. And then he sends out his Starmie, which actually, without Reflect, would have been a 2-hit KO. And I knew he was going to go for Thunderbolt, so... And he turns out to be Life Orb. 9% with Life Orb. That's how special defensive Shaymin is. It's a good Pokemon, people. He sends out his Marshmallow Blissey. I think it's pretty funny, his names for his team. I do like it. Shoutouts to ABCDFF for his team names. And then I'm a sub-Leech Seed set, so... you get to see hundreds of recovery health because I'm up against a Blissey, so I will gladly sub-stall this Blissey out. Because at some point he's going to have to go for Soft-Boiled, and I will slowly whittle it down with Seed Flare, thanks to its 40% drop in special defense, as you see right there. This, he makes a very good prediction in going for Toxic, but luckily Shaymin gets Natural Cure, I think, on the way out. So it's not too big of a deal. It just makes me have to switch into my Heat Trainer on Balloon. He uses Seismic Toss. I probably should have just gone to my Skarmory to wall this thing out better. But either way, nothing's going to want to take a Lava Plume. Not even this guy, because if he gets burned, it's bad. But then I guess I went for Stealth Rock anyways, because that Mega Pinsir's there. But his Gatorade. I sent my Raikou on his Gatorade, expecting a Dragon Dance, actually. But it turns out he has Bulldoze. That was unexpected, the more unexpected part of his fighting style. So now I gotta send him my Skarmory, and I gotta whirlwind him out. I can't have this guy setting up on me. Anything that comes in is better than that. So his Pinsir comes in, and then he subs him immediately out because he doesn't want him to set up yet. Because I can just take a hit and boost. And that's what I do. I'll boost. So he sends in his Starmie, and a little bit of music's messing up here, but no worries. And every time he sends in his Starmie, I'm sending in my Shaymin. It's completely going to counter it. Even if it knew Ice Beam, it would counter it. So, unless it's too low on health. So at this point, I sub up, and his Mega Pinsir doesn't know that I have Air Slash at the moment. So when he evolves, he's going to go for Quick Attack, which is super effective due to its ability. And I'm just going to hit it with an Air Slash, but it doesn't kill, but it does so much damage. So he's confused. I'm like, that's the old... Air Slash, Seed Flare, Leech, and Sub. That was the old Shaymin set. Still works. Skarmory can take this thing on any day of the week. He's confused as how I got Air Slash, I think, or maybe he's just making a joke. Yeah, he made a joke at that point because, you know, it's funny. But he's got to stay in because rocks will kill him on the way out, and he's not gonna. He's trying to wear my Skarmory down, but you know what? It just won't happen. Skarmory's very bulky on the physical side, so I will take out his Mega, and he will go into his. I expected the Dragon Dance. He will go into for Alligator. Sorry, it's been a long day. I've been streaming. I've been recording all of these in one session, so the last like 5 episodes all just in one session. It's very tough on the voice. But luckily his Gliscor comes in. He can't. His Gliscor cannot do anything. Toxic, Earthquake, nothing. Skarmory is a natural counter to it. So he has to go back into his for Alligator, which in this case I reveal I have a Slowbro and it's Mega. So that for Alligator, unless it maybe knows Crunch, but it seems like he used Bulldoze and maybe, I don't know which working it is, but either way, he can't do anything with Slowbro, and I will put him back. So I Thunder Wave the Blissey, which is an odd choice, because usually you want to use like a Toxic on the Blissey, but I was hoping maybe to Thunder Wave, get a little bit of hacks with Psyshock, and actually kill him, but it didn't do enough. Then he did a nice prediction, went for Toxic before my Shaymin could do anything. I want to get the Leech Seed off anyways, because I will heal a lot. Turns out he has Heal Bell, which is kind of funny to run with Gliscor. You don't see that too often, because, you know, Gliscor wants its Poison Heal. But now Blissey is seated, there's rocks up, and I can go to my Azumarill free. Because this Leech Seed will probably cure all my health back. Very close to it, 98%. And I do have Superpower for Blissey and stuff, but I'm not going to use it yet. I think we'll go for a Waterfall. Oh no, I went for a Play Rough to hit anything hard. I did think about that move, because nothing can take it. Not even this Gliscor would like to have taken that, but I'm not using my Azumarill for that yet. I'm still going to wall it out with Slowbro. He went for Protect, probably just to scout, get his Toxic Poison. Probably should have went into Skarmory, but I do know they like to sub, so I wanted to go into my Mega Slowbro and immediately go for the Scald. And he can sub all he wants, but he's not going to heal enough. But then I realized he also runs Protect. So his set is Sub, Protect, Toxic, and 99% Earthquake, I'm guessing. At this point, though, at one point I think I subbed back into my Scarier or Heatran on a balloon if it still has a balloon. And he can't do anything. Oh wait, no, I interestingly enough went to my Shaymin. Wow, that was a pretty risky switch of me. But once I sub up here and go for Leech Seed at some point, we're both going to have subs, and he can't hurt mine, but I can hurt his pretty badly. There's a bunch of Pokemon. This Gliscor really can't do much to my team. It can stall, but it won't be able to do much. Sea Flare will take it out, whereas in his case, Earthquake, which I did predict, won't take me out. So eventually I'll get the Leech Seed on him, and he knows that, so he's trying to stall it out. I could miss. There's a chance. But once I get the Leech Seed off, he'll just keep cutting his health down. So he's got to switch into something else. He's got to predict this. And he goes into his Espeon, which bounces it back, but because I'm Shaymin, I'm immune. So look at that. Doesn't really matter. He just kind of has to do something. So he's smart. He sets up his light screen. Seed Flare didn't even take it out. That's how Espeon's pretty specially defensive. Goes for a second, gets my sub out, which is important. But once I hit him with the Air Slash, his Espeon's done for. And now he has a Starmie. Can't do anything against me with, even with Side Shock with that 38%. And I'm still going to put up a sub. I'm a little weaker than I'd like to be at this point, HP-wise, but he knows it's pretty much over. He's got 2 stall Pokemon that can't do anything to my guy. I go for Leech Seed because I just want the little extra HP from him before he dies. I think it also has the same hit chance as Sea Flare anyways. So I put up the sub. He knows it's a good game at this point, but it turns out to reveal he has knockoff. So I guess I must have forgotten the move. He doesn't have Toxin, this guy then. At this point, he wrote GG, but it's a little early because he does own knockoff. I think I'm just trying to stall him out. Probably predicting something else. But he's Toxic, Leech Seed, and he's like, I did lose a very important Pokemon. I should not have lost that Pokemon like I did. But at this point, I'm going for Waterfall. Every single turn, I'm just going to hit him with a Waterfall until he decides to, break down. Because it'll take 8 turns or so, but he'll lose. He knocked off my Choice Band. And that's actually okay. This is going to help more. It's a little sad because I did get him with the Leech Seed combo at the end there, but now because he knocked the Choice Band off, I can just go for a Superpower, and it helps me more than it helps him, so Blissey goes down, and that's the match. So in the end, it didn't really matter. I lost my Shaymin. It just made things easier when I got a Zoomer in there. So that was a good game. Thank you, ABCDEFF, for a fun battle. And that's all we have for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the unveiling of my second team, Unveiling. I have a couple more. A lot more battles to show you guys in the future. And as I said in the previous episode, I will be, starting to update, live when I'll be on Pokemon Showdown, when I'll be playing other games and stuff, get the community built up and stuff. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment below about anything, what you thought, how you feel, which team you like better at the moment. And like I said, I hope to, thanks as always, and I hope to see you guys next time on Third Chair.